Alright. I think we might possibly be live. There we go, just popped up. I should just update the title. I think this is 4. Alright, let me get this song going, do a quick sound check, and then we're good. Alright. Testing, 1, 2, 3. Song going, do a quick sound check, and then we're good. Alright. Testing, 1, 2, 3. Sweet. All good. Rightio. So I don't actually have a plan for tonight, but I just click live and we'll see what happens. Well, I have a rough plan. So last time we were playing around with village generation. In here. This is just ignore this. This isn't part of it. It's just a random tree. Yeah. So we've got this. And this is supposed to be wave function collapse, but it's not very good. So the brown represents a house, these represent roads, and these represent like a park or something. So imagine like buildings and stuff on these. I want to spend just a couple of minutes playing around with the constraints on this because I had some ideas today while I was at work, and maybe I can get something working, but I'm not going to fuss around with it for too long. If I can just at least get some buildings in, that's probably good enough for now to get kind of like a prototype going, and then we can always circle back to this and improve it later. So I think I've just got everything. Yeah, everything's allowed to generate everywhere. So the constraint I was thinking for houses is you're not allowed to generate a house like this. You're not allowed to generate a house if all of your neighbors are houses. And we'll see what that does to it. So let's see. Go through here, neighboring tiles. What's going on here? So go through all the neighbors. If we find one that is not a house, then we're allowed to generate. Otherwise, they've all been houses and we cannot generate. And we'll see what that does. Yeah, okay, so that should make it so that the houses should always be accessible by roads, but there is still the problem of this where, yeah, there isn't actually any road connecting to these. Well, I guess there is at the back there, but these two don't. Let's do a few more, see. Okay, so this one here shouldn't have generated because, oh, I did not even plug in the code I just wrote. That would be why. Okay, Yeah, so I think we're going to get a lot less houses now. This still happens. I guess it's because when this one, it depends on the order. God damn it. Okay. Alright. Yeah, so they're not too bad. The distribution's not great though. So what I'm going to do is just leave this random because that didn't work quite as well as I thought it would, which should give an even distribution of all tile types. And that'll just be good enough to work with for now, basically. So the first thing I want to try and tackle is make this actually generate with the origin at 0, 0. You see the actor, where is it? I guess these aren't actually attached. I should probably do that too. The village manager is at 0, 0, and they kind of generate out like this. So I need to account for that. So here's where we calculate the position. Okay. So essentially we want to offset this by half the grid size. So it'll be that minus grid size over 2. That do it. Or do I need brackets here? I don't think so, right? Should be okay. So grid size, remember, is the amount of kind of tiles. That, what is going on? Why is this? So I want to do that, and then also when it's in the middle, I want to make it actually put houses where the houses should go, essentially. And then I'll start hooking up the data to the village. Oh, we did succeed. Okay, cool. So if we hit it now, grid size is not what I thought it was. What do we want? Village size. So that's now we need to multiply these two. Probably don't need the brackets, but I feel like it makes it clearer what's happening. Yeah, because we need to multiply by the actual width of the thing as well, not just one tile. And I did also say I wanted to attach these, so we should do that too. Attached actor parent actor will be this, and yeah, so that got it in the middle. If attachment rules keep world, I suppose, and socket name doesn't matter. Cool, so that should now attach it as well, which just helps keep the outliner clean. Let's see, is everything working right? Keep world, I suppose. Yep, socket name seems to be. Okay. That was a full-on crash. Spawn tile attached to, that should be fine. Attached to this act as root component, which is this, which I guess has a root component by default. Maybe it doesn't. That might be the problem. But I think Unreal gives it one by default. Well, I thought it did. I know it's rude to chew gum on stream, but I won't chew it. It's nicotine gum. I'm trying to quit smoking, so it's a necessity. Right, so we'll do this, and then yeah, and then I want to get the villages working. I'm tossing up whether to do any more art, because as I keep saying, I kind of want to move away from this style, but I don't know, pixel art is quick, I suppose, so maybe I could just, no, I don't know, we'll see. We'll see. Okay, these all got attached here, you can see. Up here it's all attached, which also has the benefit if I move the village, it moves the whole village. Okay, so I have that at 0, 0, which means we no longer need a floor plane. We no longer need that. The sky stuff. I'm just going to change the color so I know we're in a village. I'm going to have like a proper sky at some point. I don't know, blue, I guess. Slightly cyan. Okay, so when we spawn into the village, this will happen. I'm not sure what I'm going to do about the bounds of the village right now. I probably need to generate like level exit points or something. But what I want to try now is actually to put some houses on these tiles. So the quick thing to do is just to prototype it with cubes essentially. So I'll do that. I'll just do something really rough. And I might go into Blender and model something proper at some point, we'll see. But I just kind of want to get the feel for it down before I get too carried away. Okay, something like, maybe like that. Yeah, whatever. And I don't know, it's not really anything I can use easily for the roof, so that will be the house. We'll see, we'll make, yeah, whatever, we'll use this material because the floor plane is actually not probably going to be there. It's just so I can see what's going on. Okay, cool. So we got some houses with some Z fighting. That's all good. Okay, so that gives a feel for kind of how the village might look. Well, not really look, but like the kind of scale of it, I guess. This is obviously tiny. How many houses are here? Because I'm generating ones with 10 right now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Cool. Okay, so this is something I can work with, for sure. For now, anyway. And I guess why not do the tree thing as well? Make this look somewhat like something. So if someone joins the stream, they kind of get the vibe of what's going on. What I might do actually is make a new type of sprite. One that always faces the camera, which will be helpful. And I guess I'll do it on the CPU right now. There's trade-offs to doing that. If I do it on the CPU, it's like, it's not really as efficient, I guess. Yeah, sprite component. New paper sprite. Paper. Paper billboard sprite component or something. So if I do it on the CPU, it's like, it's not, I guess, as efficient to rotate the sprite to face the camera, but it does easily take into account transform offset. So like if you have something like a sprite that's facing the player, and then you have another sprite attached in front of that faces the player, when this one turns, it'll also turn the other one, if you know what I mean. Like they'll stay in the order in which they render will stay consistent. On the GPU, it's obviously way more efficient to rotate stuff. I could just do it with like a world offset or something. But doing that kind of transform stuff is a lot less intuitive. Yeah, so that's why I'm going to just do it on the CPU for now anyway, until it's a problem, and then I'll actually, why don't I just get rid of that tick function? I need that, and then I'll maybe do something else about it. Could do like GPU at a distance, and then when you get close to it, switch to CPU, something like that. But yeah, so I guess actually I need both of these, so I don't know why I just deleted all that code before, but I'll have a function that is like set you know what, I don't actually probably need to override what they face because it's always going to be the same thing. So if I go here and go get look at face location or something, get facing location. I don't know if this is probably not a very clear name, but essentially this is going to be where the sprite will look. So I think I can do something like gameplay statics, and then camera manager, and I assume this needs a world in 0 or something. Yeah. And then I think I can get it through here. Because essentially if I possess different pawns, like say there's a cutscene that happens and I switch to a different camera. Yeah, that's the one there. I want the sprites to then point at the cutscene camera and not the sort of the first person character, if that makes sense. And I'm pretty sure this will do that. The camera manager should, I think, just be the camera that the viewport's using, hopefully. Okay, we don't actually need the rotation, but I think I need to pull it out. I don't know if there's a way I can just say no to a reference parameter like that. And then all we need to do is return campos. So we're going to be spamming the shit out of this function, which is why the CPU stuff's a little not amazing, but we go face location, get facing location. Okay, so we've got that, and then what we need to do is rotate, but only on the Z. So what I usually do is calculate a new rotator, or like, I don't know, whatever, new rot or something is, what library was it in? I think it was like Blueprint. Oh god. So if you're in Writer and you don't, like, I know what the function is that I want, but I can't remember what class it's in. If you either F1 or double shift and search the function name. So I think in this case it's like find look at rotation, then you can find it through this. So yeah, now I can see it's in the UKismet math library. And because Unreal has the source, obviously you can actually look at what it does. But yeah, so there we go. So UKismet math library. I'm not sure if VS Code can do that or Visual Studio. Eventually, if you use Blueprint enough too, you'll just get to know what the functions that are available are and just remember their names. Yeah, so the start is actually our own get world location, get component location, and we want to face location. And then the reason I did this, actually not as const, whatever, nothing, is because I actually only want the Z value. Actually, you know what, let's leave it const, in case I want that other data. But now we just go set component rotation, component world, wait, what's going on? Set rotation, set world rotation. And the new world rotation will be basically that rotation. So if I do this, it'll actually face me on all axis no matter what. But because usually these are things like trees or people, I actually want them to be like kind of upright and just like kind of twist around like that. So that's only taking into account the yaw, which is the Z, the yaw, which is the Z axis. So if I just build a new rotator here, I just do 0 for the roll. Is this the order? Roll, pitch, yaw, roll. So pitch is this, roll is this, and yaw is this. So for the yaw, we want to use the Z, or I guess they call it yaw, and then yeah, that I think will do it, and it does it every tick, which is why this is not the most fantastic thing to be on the CPU at all times, but yeah, is what it is. So there's ways you can do it on the GPU, which is basically just doing it in a material with world position offset, but that has its own problems. It is way cheaper though. Okay, so the whole reason I made this is so that now inside an actor I can just add billboard sprites rather than normal sprites, and they should just automatically face the camera, whereas the other ones don't. So for example, if I put in a couple trees in here, obviously at editor time they don't face the camera. I might be able to figure out how to do that, but I don't know off the top of my head. Okay. Whatever, something like that for the park. Now if we run, there's no player, so they just all face whatever direction. If I play from here, they should hopefully face me. They are, but it's the wrong axis. So I guess the component by default, yeah. See, the sprite faces towards the green, which is the Y, which means I need to actually offset it by 90. Usually X is forward in Unreal. I don't know why some stuff does Y forward. It's pretty annoying, but yeah, we pretty much just need to I guess just plus 90 here, or minus, I don't think it matters. Because when we do that, the constructor for the rotator, I think, checks if it's nan. Pretty sure it renormalizes everything. Otherwise, we can normalize it ourselves. Alright. Okay. There we go. Cool. So they all just face the camera, which is it is a semi-expensive thing to do for sure. Yeah, at some point I need to figure out the lighting too on these things, but yeah, kind of roughly gives you how this kind of thing will look. Just looking at it though, what I would like to do is have some smaller ones and some big ones. Because yeah, it's kind of a little samey. Not that it really matters, but that helps slightly. So yeah, you can kind of see the retro vibe I'm going for here. The art style I do want to be slightly different though, hopefully. We might stick with pixel art, but I want to kind of modernize that aspect of it a wee bit. But yeah, so these are parks, these are buildings, these are where the paths would be. But you can see even though there's no path between these two, I'm not planning on putting the buildings right up to the edges anyway, so yeah, it's is what it is. In fact, what I could do is actually draw a spline from, if I take 5 points of this square, the corners and the middle, then I could draw a spline that goes like this basically. And that way you get like a path that kind of goes between the houses. Anyway. Maybe just to hammer home what's happening here in case someone joins, so I don't have to keep explaining it, I'll put some lampposts or something. If I can actually draw a lamppost, that's the next question. Also, I do think I want to stick with the outline look. Let me quickly do that for the tree. Yeah, I think I do want to do that. Okay, and then, yeah, so lamppost should be pretty straightforward, I hope. You know what, let me Google one just to make sure I don't completely embarrass myself here. Yeah. So we'll do it like this, and I'm not going to spend, I keep saying this, but I'm not going to spend too much time on the art because I do plan to change it, but Something like that, and then off here we hang, it's kind of like, yeah, maybe something like that. Whatever. Maybe we just let that hang a little lower too. Okay, so do something like that, then I guess I'll just grab a wood texture. Would prefer that was metal. But then it's weird that it doesn't have an outline, I suppose. And then just something bright on the inside will be fine. Okay, a little tiny bit of shading usually helps things sit a little better in the scene. Okay, and then for the wood, wood's a little tough because I don't have much room here, but yeah, whatever, something like that. And I only have 1 pixel here, so I guess that's gonna have to do. Okay, and then let's see what it would look like if I do outline this. Yeah, that's alright. Yeah, there we go. Nice. Okay, cool. And then the last thing, it doesn't really matter, but for some reason my brain's telling me to add be like that color, this color. Like a rope around this. Come on, don't get distracted. This isn't supposed to be a... Okay, cool. The only thing that's bugging me now is that. That'll do it. And now we need a little bit of shading here because now that side's dark, and probably there too. And we can probably account for it with that. Cool. Alright, that'll do. So yeah, I'm gonna put these basically around the city. Sorry, I just said I'm done, but I just want to hang that even lower. Which now means I can do something like that. Okay. I can't stop. Help. There. Done. I'm leaving it. Okay, so we edit those sprites real quick. I think I'll need to edit the tree slightly. Yep. No, not that one. which thing am I supposed to be adjusting here? There we go. Wait, but that's already 0. Did I... Ah. The tree looks kind of funny because it doesn't really have the right outline going on, but okay. But again, just a quick thing. Re-import. Where is that? Why do I not see re-import? Because it's a sprite, that's why. Re-import. And then there we go. Get the edge. There is a way you can do this with a tool, but I can't remember how to do it. There we go. Okay, and then we do another sprite off this texture. And this one, see, so I can't remember how to, wait. No, it wasn't that. Yeah, I'm supposed to, I thought, be able to drag to edit these. Anyway, it's fine. So we need to come over to probably like there, come down, less wide and less tall. Okay, and then we'll do bottom center. How's it going, Sheikh? Welcome in. Sorry, I didn't see a message there for a couple of minutes. I'm currently getting a little distracted with pixel art, but hopefully we're done now. I'm just trying to illustrate the procedural town stuff a little better. Problem is I don't exactly know where to put these. I guess I'll do like this. And also the sprite texture didn't. These are all the right one now. Cool. So now, yeah, looks a little weird, but it's easier to tell. Okay, this is way too many. It's easier to tell what parts are the road now, I guess. And also maybe a little easier to see kind of the type of art style I'm going for, rendering. There is something charming about the pixel art though, isn't there? Maybe it's just me. Also, what I want to do on our new component is cast shadow is true. Do I have to set cast? I don't know why there's a setter. Oh, it's that song again, everybody. I apologize. There we go. Okay, yeah, because otherwise you can see before it recompiles, there's no shadows for the trees or the lampposts. Way too many lampposts. Still looks like they don't have shadows to me. They don't? Maybe because I put these ones in before I made that change. I'd probably have to load the asset, which I think you can just probably restart the engine to do. There we go. Okay, yeah, so now you can see a little better, some slightly fancier rendering going on. Okay, so these have collision, they do. That is good, I guess. It's kind of weird. So the next thing I want to do is actually get these houses to be enterable, and then I want to work on the map kind of transitions, I guess, like going between levels. So I know I have a texture somewhere for a door. Yeah, I guess that's fine. We'll just leave it like that. So for the house, so here's a case where I would not want to use one of these new sprites. I just want it to be like a normal door. And this probably will end up being its own actor, but and obviously all the houses, like I'll make a bunch of houses and pick randomly between them and all that, but just for now, keep it simple. Do that, and probably add like a torch to the wall or something, just to help me find the door frame. Okay, and we could probably do a light actually. Way less attenuation though. I know the torch doesn't look lit in the sprite, but yeah, this is what it is. Sure, and then I did also make a sign, but we won't worry about that just now. Okay, cool. We got these houses with doors, whole bunch of them. One thing I don't do is, which I can quickly fix now, is these tiles never rotate. They're always facing the same direction. So that is easily fixed. If we go to Village Manager, when I do the spawning stuff, we just give it the rotation right now, but what I'll do we'll spawn it with this plus how am I going to do this? If math.rand range 0 3, is it inclusive? Less than or equal to, yeah, 0 to 3. Oh yeah, that's fine. Okay, and then times 90, obviously 90 degrees. Except we need to take into account the existing rotation, so that will be X here, or pitch. The yaw, and this is the roll. Okay, so that should zero a random number between 0 and 3, integer hopefully, yeah, times 90, so 0 times 90 is 0, then 90, then 270, then 180, no. 0, 90, 180, 270, yeah, and then we're back to 0 again. So that will make it face basically a cardinal direction. We'll probably want to offload this line of code to the actual tile itself at some point, because some tiles might not want to like rotate like that. Yeah, so now if we play, right. That complicates things because the origin is in is here. When we rotate this actor, it doesn't rotate from here. So I'm incredibly tempted to just put it in the middle. I think I'll do that. Because otherwise we're going to have to do a bunch of extra like calculations all the time to figure out where to put it. And not only that, but I have to figure out the math to do that, which is, if I'm honest, the main reason. But let's say it's for performance. Okay, here we go. With that in the middle. Yeah. If I do this though, it should be fine as is because we rotate around the origin. As long as I line these up correctly. Looks like the houses are off one. Yeah. There it goes. Okay, so it looks basically the same, but you'll notice that the houses now all face, well, not all face, but some of them face in different directions. Like the doors here on this one, but on this one it's flipped. And technically the trees do that too, which will help it look more kind of connected together. Obviously these are, there's just way too many of those actually. Let's nuke the corners like that. And that will also help illustrate my point. Yeah. So now you can see these two corners on this one, but these two corners on that one. Cool. Alright, this is coming along. We're getting there. Very slowly, but we're getting there. So we want to do entering houses. Which is going to involve a scene change for sure. Which means we're going to need a house interior scene. So let's quickly make that, I suppose. This one I'll just do fully blank. And same with everything else, this is going to be a preset like layout for now. And eventually we can get fancy and like randomize it between a pool or randomize what objects are in rooms, that sort of stuff. No, not 1,000, Jesus, 10. There's the floor. Yeah, whatever. Did I actually ever make any? Let's see, where is the... No, I don't think I did. Never mind. Get me out of here. Okay, I'll just do it like this, with some cubes for now. So the layout was kind of, you know what, layout doesn't matter for right now. I'll just get the scene loading at all, and then we'll go from there. Okay, so that, and there would be a door. Somewhere. Okay, and there you go. There's literally nothing in here. It's just a room. Can I turn down? Yeah, there we go. Okay, so now we just call this house, I guess. Actually, I wanted to, let's go back to the village and I'll rename to this house interior. Yeah, whatever. House interior, village, and test map is just for other random stuff. But when we arrive, okay, so when a village spawns, we basically now need these doors to be interactable, which means, well, the easiest way is to actually make these blueprints probably. Do I want to do that? Yeah, I think so. It's probably the easiest way. So this is what village house. Let's go and make BP. No, what am I doing? I do this in C++ now, remember? Okay. Actor. We'll call this like level, like what do I call it? What's it called when you go between two like instances? Like a level transition door, I guess. I'm just gonna go and make grab another drink. I will be back in a couple of well, maybe a minute or two. I was gonna say a couple seconds. That's unreasonable. All right, is that back on? Yeah. got? Level transition door. Oh god. Tangled mess of cables and mics and blankets. Alright. Probably, almost certainly won't have tick. Probably won't have a employee. So I'll just get rid of them if we don't need them. I might even make this a component at some point. Okay. We will need our interaction manager. So is it you, interaction handler? Components, and then we just okay. Cool, and then we do our usual bind thing, which is interaction handler dots on interact. Now I get this wrong. Add dynamic, that's the one. Pointer to this and a reference to is it a level transition actor interact local, and writer will make that for me, right? Yep. That can be protected. Generate the implementation. Needs to be marked with U function. Fine. Okay, cool. So now we're in here. So we've clicked on the door. So what needs to happen is we need to load a new scene. So I guess that's the first thing, is we need a property of where to go. What I'm thinking maybe is yeah, okay, so let's basically, I should say what I'm thinking when I do that so I don't just look like a crazy, but I had two thoughts on my mind just then. One is make a struct to hold the transition data, because not only will I need a level, but I'll probably want a position that you arrive in a rotation and stuff, a transform. So make a struct, but the other one was, can I still remember it? I was tossing up between making a global, like a database of these that exists, like the data doesn't exist on the door itself, and what that would allow me to do is two-way bind them automatically. So a door that leads to the village would automatically lead from the village back to the door, like to the house. But I decided against that for now anyway. So yeah. So let's make a new file, what do I call it, transition data? Should be more specific, level transition data .h, and we'll need core minimal. Sure why I wasn't getting any help with that. What did I do wrong? That's why. Include. And we're gonna have a generated file, so I'll just do that. Level transition. What was going on with my typing? Transition data.generated.h, which is for the UHT, and then we'll just do a ustruct. Sometimes it makes the whole struct for me, sometimes it doesn't. I don't really understand when it does and when it doesn't. Anyway, it's going to be a blueprint type, and it's going to be if level transition data generate a body, and here's where the good stuff happens. We're going to have a tsoft object pointer to. Now, can I do a uWorld itself? We'll find out. That might crash. Level. U property. Blueprint. Read write. Okay. And the other thing is going to be some sort of transform to arrive at. But I don't know how I'm going to handle that just yet, so I'll leave it out of the equation. Now, it might be okay with this, or it might hate me for this, so I'm going to make sure everything's saved. Because there's a whole new type getting added, it should be okay, but we'll see. Or I messed something up. Did I spell it wrong again? I did. Wow, twice in a row. Okay. Function return type expected name. Level transition door. It's me getting confused on my languages again. Oh, I have uFunction on the constructor. Oh, it did generate the uFunction for me for this, but then I moved it down, but I didn't move the uFunction down. I think that's what happened. I'm going to go till probably like 10:30 tonight too. Not 10:30, 10 o'clock. It's 9:30 right now. Yeah, so half an hour. I'm going to aim for, because I keep going for too long, frying my brain. Okay, it was happy with that. That's good. So that means we can now expose that in here. So level transition data, level transition data, property blueprints, read write, edits, defaults only. I can explain these specifiers too if anyone's super interested, or you can Google them yourself. But yeah, it's yeah, I don't really want to get into it. But level transition door. Now you know what? No categories, fine. Let's just leave it default. And I guess because it's uProperty, I do actually have to full on include there. That's fine. Okay, and just to be super nice and tidy and clean, I will level transition data is if level transition data. There we go. Make sure it's nulled. So now what we need to do is, well, actually first I'm going to see if that world reference works, because I'm not sure if that is going to be acceptable or not. Yeah. And we also need to make a blueprint version of this. Level transition door. Just in case we want to make more of these with different like different types of doors or whatever, maybe a cave entrance or something. Now what I'm interested in is it is happy with that. Okay, so it does resolve to a level, which is nice. This is underrated. Thanks very much, Jace. Welcome to the stream. I mean, I'm not sure if you're talking about my stream or the fact that you can use UWorld in a Tsoft object pointer, but either way, I agree. Okay, so we got the data there, that's good. So that means level transition door. We should be able to actually go to the world. Let me just check something in Blueprint. I'm not sure. What exactly are you coding? It's an experimental project that is essentially a procedurally generated RPG is kind of like the simplest way to put it. But it's essentially just a mishmash of like weird kind of quirky like takes on popular RPG mechanics that I've wanted to try for a while. So yeah, so like the dialogue system, you actually like type to them, which I know is crazy, but yeah. So just stuff like that, and the reason I do that is so that I can do stuff like basically each NPC has like a knowledge base, which means like they just have stuff they know about, basically their name, their race, like I don't know which factions they're a part of, maybe some rumors, some quests or whatever, and you basically just like query them like a database. Yeah, so I don't know, we'll see if that turns out cool or not, but yeah. And then we just were working on the stream so far this village generator thing, which is obviously just all placeholder stuff, using wave function collapse, except not really because I couldn't figure out the constraints just yet, but yeah. And then specifically right now we're working on actually being able to transition into these buildings through a like level transition, essentially. Yeah. Okay, so yep, that's good, and that is did I say edit defaults only? Because that is not what I wanted. I did edit anywhere because I need to edit it in the level itself. Why Unreal instead of Unity? I really use Unity and I've never used Unreal. A very long time ago I used to use Unity, like and make Unity tutorials, probably like 20, I don't know, 18 or something. No, it would have been way before that. I started 2015, so it would have been like 2013 to 2014 I was using Unity quite a lot. And then I got my first job in the games industry in 2015, and I actually got hired as a Unity serialization developer, but things happened and basically I ended up working in Unreal, and pretty much just been working in Unreal ever since. It's just I don't know, it's just what I'm used to, I guess. I do play with Unity every now and then, and I do absolutely adore C#, but yeah, I don't know, it's hard once you know an engine and are familiar with it. It's quite hard to like want to change, I guess. Okay, I lost my train of thought. So in the village, oh no, I don't actually want to be editing this because this isn't a preset village. I can't actually just obviously author it because it's generated. So I'm going to have to feed that data in through the procedural generation. So what I'll do to test it then is say, hey, go to the interior. No, that's not going to work either. That's silly. Okay, no, this is going to be a little fancier than I thought. Okay. So when you interact with that, it basically needs to get pre-configured by the house, which means this tile now needs to know about the house. maybe. Let's just start doing stuff, and I'll figure it out. It'll be alright. Okay, so we need to swap out this door for an actual door, one that has functionality. Okay, and I do prefer my stuff to face X forward where possible. Okay, so this is now a separate actor. It is still a part of this actor. I think it gets attached and automatically spawned, so it looks like a component, but it is a separate actor entirely. Which means I can do, it has its own list of components and stuff. So I guess let's just double check that I've got all this hooked up correctly by doing a print. So I assume you use a little bit of C#, Jace. What is there any other languages you use? This is C++. What was it? Add on screen debug message. Well, it's C++, but it's like the Unreal, I guess, API pretty much, mostly. It looks a lot different from like raw C++. And let's say door clicked or something. Okay. I also don't have a good way to spawn into the village because there is no... Well, yeah, I guess I just put player start, don't I? There is a player start. Where is the player start? What? Okay, whatever, I'll just guess then, because it's not playing ball. There we go. Goodness. So now if I go default player start and play normally, yeah, kind of just spawns me here. That's fine. Did that compile finish? Yep. So if I find a room, there we go. You can see up in the top left. It's kind of hard to see because I picked a bad color, but you see door clicked. So it does know we're trying to go into a house, so that's good. The interaction system's working. What needs to happen is the house, I suppose. Or actually, I could just do it on here for now. But this data's gonna need to come from the actual data structure, like village we generate. That's not, remember this thing? That isn't, doesn't have a physical representation. It's just purely data. Okay, so now we can actually try and see if we can load a level. Which I think there's a way to do with a soft object directly. So let me just see if I can find that function. Level. By name, is it? Open level by soft object pointer. I saw it there. Gameplay statics, okay. Beautiful. So I don't even have to load it or anything. Because yeah, that was my thing. I don't really want to load the level just to load the level, if you know what I mean. Like, because this is a soft object pointer, I would usually load that. But I guess it does it for me, which is good. What else do we need here? So it's actually world context, then the level, then some other crap. Okay. Then the level, then just stuff we don't really care about. So that should, I think, do it. It might be as simple as that. I should probably check. We're going to go to a valid level, however. But that might be enough to at least get a level transition to happen. Not sure why unpossessed there. Where's the door? Yeah, that worked, but I guess the player start in that level is not any good. There is no player start, that is why. So the player start, I mean, you probably figured it out, but it's where it's the transform the player initially spawns in, unless you tell it otherwise. Okay, so obviously here, and so the transform in that level transition data you might think doesn't matter because we're putting a player start here, but if I had another door on the, like say this house had like a back door, if you went through the back door from the outside in the village, you would actually end up here. Whereas you'd want to end up at the back door. So that's why we eventually need to not use these and just like manually kind of, I don't know, figure out a transform. Okay, and that's not a real door, so we'll put a real door in. And we can say go back to the village. It doesn't know where in the village I'm supposed to go. So yeah, there's that. We'll work on that next. But so I should be able to go to the house, except now I can fly. Because I need to set editor preferences. No, it's not editor. Hang on. Maps and modes. Where's the default game mode? To this. Alright. There we go. So now I possess the right pawn, can walk around inside, go back outside, and I spawn somewhere random in the village. It's also very instant. We definitely want like an actual screen fade transition there. But yeah, I'll get to that. Okay, so now the next thing is to know, like, cause this interior we're in right now is the same interior for all houses. It won't be eventually, but there is going to be like a limited set of interiors, obviously. So how would this door know which house in the village I just went through? And not specifically the one I just went through, but which one it's supposed to connect to. Like which house we're in right now. And I guess the answer to that is we have, not the answer, but one way to do it is we have this building data structure. If we keep track of which building we're currently in, then when we go to the village can say, oh, you were in building blah blah blah, John's house. Well, let's search the village for John's house and find the door. But that doesn't, so that will work to find the house, but then how do we find which particular door maps to which thing? There's going to need to be quite a connection between the exterior and the interior, I think, for this to work. Yeah, there is. I can't just slap any exterior on any interior because the number of doors that connect to the outside need to match. Okay, so let's at least see if we can keep track of the house we're in. So where would be a good place to do that? Probably the player state, I suppose. Do we have a custom one of those yet? Yes. Okay, so we basically just want to keep track of the building we are in. and there's about to be a major issue come up in a second, but yeah, we'll get through it. Current player building or something, or current interior or whatever, something like that. I think I'm gonna have to do that dictionary thing I was talking about earlier, by the way. Blueprint, read-only, visible anywhere, category, just it doesn't really matter. And then we're already public, so we'll probably have a setter for that too. I don't want to set that variable directly necessarily. Yeah, you know what? Let's protect it. Just in case I need to, like, if you set a variable all over the place throughout your code, just make it public and just go set whatever all throughout your code base, and then later you think like, oh, when I set that variable, it would be quite nice for this thing to happen in my UI. Then you don't really have a good way to kind of add more code into that. But if you do it with a setter, then it's just a function, so you just add more code to the function. New interior. And I might not want to use actual buildings for this too. I might want to do objects. And so if you're doing a setter, obviously a lot of the time you're going to want to man, it's hard to type and talk at the same time. You're going to want to have a getter as well, so that things can tell what the state of that variable is. Okay, new rule, I try not to talk while I type, because it's too hard. So this one, blueprint callable, might as well. Category, again, I don't, it's fine without one. This one can be blueprint pure, which I'll show you what that means real quick. Blueprint pure is if I do get actor location. Oh, I don't have an actor here. Okay, so get player pawn. That's a pure one, but this is the one I actually wanted to show you. God damn it. Okay, that's the wrong function. There we go. Okay, so this is a getter and setter for the actor location. This is a pure one, and this is just blueprint callable. The difference is obviously this execution pin. So this has to be placed in the code somewhere, whereas this one you can just put wherever, and basically when it hits a node that isn't pure, that is connected to this somehow, it'll go back and calculate it at that moment. So you gotta be kind of careful with pure nodes too. There should be cheap stuff, just getters and stuff like that. Alright, I need to speed run this because I got 8 minutes before I said I would stop streaming. Okay, here. So the getter, return current interior equals new interior. Okay, and we can probably make that const, I would think. No, okay, fair enough. Okay, so now we have a way to track that. Basically what happens is now when we go through a door, we need to track where we're coming from. So we would do that. We need the player state. So we are literally about to run into a pain in the ass issue where but when I go through a level, when I load a different level, it's going to spawn new player states, which means all the data that I just put in there is going to get wiped, which means we need to serialize it. Yeah, I'm not going to have time to write a serialization system, but we'll do that probably next time. Okay, so But what I do want to do is little transition door. What I'm considering doing soft object reference would be alright, but is also not going to work for this because they're procedurally generated, the cities. But we have a player state, and it's actually A, and there's no reason for that, semicolon. And then just cast the player state. You know what? What is my custom one called? Blade for player state. Cast it to that, very good. And now I can access my function to set current interior. When I go through this door, how do I know what the interior is? Well, something's going to have to tell this basically, which is also not the best thing in the world, but I'm going to need to rewrite this, or at least refactor it at some point. Okay, and now we just use that as the reference. Okay, this is the entire data of a building too, whereas really we could have an ID for it and just use that instead. Which is part of the refactor that I just mentioned. However, what we can now do is compile that. Come on, there we go. Right. Compile it, and then inside here, I'm going to do a tiny, cheeky, tiny little bit of blueprint just to make sure I can get this done in 3 minutes. And there's nothing wrong with Blueprint, by the way. I'm just challenging myself to mostly do C++ for this. At work, and for the most of the last almost 10 years, I've been doing Blueprint for most things. Set building ref to this doesn't know about what building it is either. Oof. Oh, because it doesn't have a building yet. Okay. Because remember our village generator, I'll show you in a second, but it doesn't actually use the buildings from the data just yet. I never got that far. But we can, just to simulate this, just generate one. Generate a building, use that one. But this should come from the actual village we generate. Yeah. So that should be fine. What you'll see though, place state, set current interior, get current interior. So I can show it right here. This is right after we set it. So now as soon as that happens, we know what building we're in. Okay. Oh god, did that function not get called? Wait, what? Level transition door. Set current interior. Yeah, that should have got called unless I didn't compile it in yet. No, target is up to date. I did. Yeah. That function didn't call, did it? BP player state. Oh my gosh. That's not. Get player state. And I just shut it down. Hang on. I don't think I've got my default player state set. That doesn't make sense because how are the skills working? And also if that cast failed, I think that function would fail too. No executable code is within this line. I believe you'll find it is. Okay. Village. Ah, no, I was going to check the game mode real quick. Make sure I set the player state. Oh yeah, BP player state. Yeah, that is the right one. Get out of my way. Head over to one of these buildings. And it didn't breakpoint again. What is happening? Set current interior is called from here, and we do call it. Yep, that looks right. Do we have... I can't see the private members, I guess. The protected members. That's alright. Session, pull in private. Yeah, okay, well... I am confused though why that is not hitting this breakpoint. Because that's valid. That's also valid. There, you can see the building here actually, even without breakpointing inside that function. There's a bunch of NPCs inside the house, and these are their IDs. Yeah, why is that not getting called? Oh, it did get set though. You can see it right here. I think my writer is having a panic then. Because yeah, you see current interior got set to the building. Let's see, the first NPC thing is CAC6E, and the building we generated, NPCs CAC6E. So it is the same building. It is getting set. I just didn't hit the breakpoint for some reason. Oh, you know, maybe it did a what do you call it? Sometimes it'll C++ will do these optimizations that make the debug code go out of sync with the. See, I'm running in development, not debug. Yeah, so it might have optimized this code to something that doesn't line up anymore. But yeah, anyway, I do need to leave it there. I will hopefully stream again tomorrow though, and we'll continue on with this. My plan is to switch. So this works-ish, but what I'm thinking is switching this village generation stuff to the same way the NPCs work, where there's a database of them, and that's an actual game instance subsystem, which means that its life cycle is bound to the game instance, which is how do I describe this? Like the actual window or the process that the game is running in. So even if you transition level, the data still persists. And that means I don't have to do as much. I still need to serialize when you like save the game, but I don't need to save and load every time you go through doors, because the data will all be in RAM, which also may be a problem. But yeah, and that way we can also set up these transitions to be remembered through GUIDs like this. So you see the NPC data has a whole bunch of stuff going on, but instead of remembering all that, all we need to remember is this GUID, which is essentially a number. It's actually 4 numbers. But yeah, that kind of like points to this data. It's kind of like a pointer without being a pointer. It's like a pointer, but you separate the pointer from the data, which I guess is what a pointer is. But yeah, it's like a key into a literal map. Anyway, I'm rambling, I'm tired, I'm gonna go to bed. I will catch you all in the next stream. Thanks for tuning in. See ya.